Good evening, everyone. My name is Mary Salvani. I'm a member of the Independent Living Resource Center, and I also sit on the Calgary Abilities Network Committee with Brittany, the Personal Empowerment Coordinator. My experience with Independent Living Resource Center has been extremely positive. These are some of my positive experiences. This past winter, I took the Tenants' Rights Workshop at Independent Living Resource Center. This will help me when I decide to move out of my parents' home. Because my parents owned their own home, I didn't have a clue on what it's like to be a renter and what rights and responsibilities I would have should I ever decided to rent my own home. I am glad that I went to the Tenants' Rights Workshop so that when I get my own place, I know what my rights and responsibilities are. I will also know what to do if my landlord is not a good one to have. Last year, I took the financial budgeting course that was offered in partnership with one of ILRC's member agencies called Money Matters. I learned a lot about budgeting for my needs. I needed to learn that skill because my income is limited. I am on AISH, which stands for Assured Income for the Severely Handicapped. Due to the skills that I have acquired and the confidence I've built, I am working on moving out of my parents' home so I can become more independent. In 2003, with the help of ILRC, I learned how to file an Alberta human rights complaint against a local college. And I won the case because I was able to prove the instructor and her colleagues showed discrimination against me based on my disability. It is because of what I learned from ILRC staff during that case that I am now an advocate for people with disabilities. I am no longer ashamed of having a few disabilities. I now also teach others not to be ashamed of their disabilities either. I also get invited by other disability organizations such as the Disability Action Hall to talk to students and faculty alike about what it's like to not discriminate and why it's important not to discriminate against people with disabilities. As part of the Calgary Abilities Network Poverty Reduction Committee, we are working on reducing poverty by encouraging the government to increase the amount of money AISH recipients receive so they can have a good quality of life. We are also educating the public so that they know more about AISH and the needs of people with disabilities. I want to sum up my experience with Independent Living Resource Center by saying my grandma's favorite saying. She was a registered nurse. Throughout her entire life, she was an advocate for people with disabilities. I think the ILRC staff lived by her saying really well. It goes, live with kindness, live with truth, live with caring and generous sharing, and when you do, all good things will come back to you. Thank you, Independent Living Resource Center of Calgary, for helping me be a good advocate and for educating me as well. Thank you for listening to my speech.